Hello and welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. I hope everybody's having a great day. And before we get to our intriguing guest that you're going to love, you're just going to love, and you're going to want to see all of it. Let me just mention a couple announcements and then we'll get going with our special guest. All right. So be sure to sign up for my newsletter, which is my Ascension School, Academy of Divine Wisdom. I have a free 30-minute Christ-like meditation, the same one I saw in the NDE. And I also have those of you interested that are suffering through grief or whatever, the southernbellemedium.com. You can check that site out. I also offer starseed services on my Academy of Divine Wisdom.com. And I have some courses and things paid and free, some really good ones. And finally, I have some galactic merchandise that I designed, and such as I work for the Office of Christ and the Galactic Federation. That was my announcements. I'm going to bring on our guest. Let me tell you a little bit about this person. Super excited. And he is an out-of-body experiencer, a near-death experiencer, an abductee, a contactee, he was part of the super soldier program, and an ET communicator. And I have lots of questions for him, and he's going to tell us about his spiritual journey, how all this unraveled, and how he found out all these aspects and fragments of himself and where he is now. And he also invented this amazing device he's going to talk about with the Deems Company. And it's a healing device.
You know, I remember when I was a kid, a few decades ago, the sun was yellow. Now it's white.
Okay. Come on now, brother. Let me tell you what. The sun has changed. They replaced it. Okay. I'm not kidding. I mean, look, I'm very astute. And I say, look, Emperor has no clothes. The sun used to be yellow when you would go outside, which I love outside and I love pool time and all that. So I love just being out there, and so you would go out as a kid and it would be, you could feel this heat vapors. It was like a yellow, almost orange. And then now, if you're not, when the sun's out and directly hitting, you feel like you're being scorched. It's almost like a heater by your feet. This old time of heaters you put by your feet. When it's on, it's really hot just on your feet, not really your face.
And nothing else anywhere.
And then when it turns off, it's instantly cold. And then as soon as the shadow covers the sun, it is really cold. And it has a different, they're screwing with stuff. I read recently that NASA has the technology to do this thing to replace the sun. It doesn't feel good what they're doing, but the sun isn't real. And people are sending in these, it looks like a screen in different parts of the world, Vegas and different things. And people reporting everywhere that I've seen, like on different places, this is not the sun. The sun is going down in different places now.
Well, allow me to attempt to assuage your fear.
Really? Yeah. Okay. What's up with the sun? I mean, but it's like happened. Oh, matter of fact, real quick. So we had the eclipse, right? So I had a dream, if you want to call it that, 2 days before, and I saw one sun, and I saw two, and I saw one go in front of the other one, and I distinctly remember that, and I'm like, okay, what's that about? So I saw two. So what's going on?
Well, there's a number of things. I'll answer what you just said first. People are evolving, and their eyes are changing. And they're seeing interdimensionally at times.
No
so that's
way.
What's being seen. The sun is still the same sun.
Are you kidding me?
No, but it is evolving.
Well, what is those little screen things that people are taking pictures of?
Changing its photonic rate to a higher vibrational rate. That is going to help humanity and Earth evolve. That's the natural, every sun, every planet, every part of the galaxy, this is the process. The sun evolves as it goes. We know eventually it's going to be a big giant red giant, sun and going to blow up. But in the process, it changes its frequency and it changes its photonic rate of the sun and the light coming out of it.
Photosensitivity, which is why we've been having so many solar flares. And before the solar flares jack up, I'm like alerted like solar flares, and I'm like, and then they're like, that it. I don't necessarily think that's all bad.
Yeah.
But that has to do with the sun changing so we can evolve.
Yeah.
Well, but the other thing is that we don't want the frequency to keep on and get too hot because it will blow up.
But that's billions of years from now. So.
Okay, well, who cares? Okay, we'll be on another planet by then. Okay, we got a long way. I'm not going to worry about that right now.
I mean, I plan on being somewhere else entirely.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Me too. So, Okay, so it is the sun
It's natural.
changing.
It's
That
natural.
is crazy.
I'll tell you why, though, and this is important that you even bring up the negative stuff, is so that we're aware that we're being told. See, the negative side
Okay.
says things bad about itself
Uh,
all the time.
okay, so the negatives. Okay, so give
Okay.
me a little example there.
Well, okay, well, let's use the example of the
Sort of.
sun being replaced. The negative side wants to say, yeah, you know what, because pretending to be the positive, you know what, they replaced the sun. What are they doing to
Now,
destroy humanity? Well, what does that do? That causes terror and stress in the population, and
yes.
people separate from one another, and they're more vulnerable and under
Mm-hmm.
control.
Mm-hmm.
You just, I'll tell you how I approach it. I know it's not a fake sun. And if they did replace the sun, at least we're still getting what we need to survive. And who cares what they do? I'm protected anyway. And so are you, if you believe that to be true.
I do. Okay, so that's cool. All right. Okay, I'll go along with that. All right. Well, what about my soul hasn't been as fertile for years because I don't know if it's the freaking. I think well, Tesla's been coming to me, and you know about all this frequency stuff. You're Mr. Frequency,
Yeah.
but Tesla's been coming to me a lot. He goes, "Hi, I'm from Sirius too." I'm like, "Okay, Tesla. I didn't learn that much about you in school, but." He talks about the frequency and the waves, and he said we have the technology to heal the entire body on a DNA level. But the thing is, I've been putting these copper coils out for the soil because I feel like the nutrients are being sucked out of it.
Yeah.
So, I think that we're all going to start working together in really natural ways to be able to cultivate better food and so forth. So, do you think that certain things that appear, let's say, negative, that is kind of necessary to expose themselves so it can be transmuted into something better?
I completely agree with that. I think what they're doing, you know, the term, you're giving them enough rope to hang themselves.
Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. It's not a bad thing. And I asked Jesus, he goes, it's just got to happen. He told me all about reptiles. He said, it's got to happen because they're showing themselves.
Exactly. And the thing that's important is you align to you keep up your energy, you align yourself to the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never go wrong. And it doesn't matter what anybody says or does around you. I don't care if they're spraying poison from the sky. It doesn't matter ultimately if you're in alignment.
Ooh, well, what can happen? It can be deemed ineffective. What is it when you take a cup of water and you speak love to it, or life, or healing, or then now you've got these crystals. What are they called? Cymatics? Is that what it's called? So the water frequency. That looks like a sacred geometry in the water. But if we can do that with our food and our water, and we can as divine beings, we can transmute it. Then whatever they're doing, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
no, I agree entirely.
I think that we are not powerless.
We're not. Well, the interesting thing is we're some of the most powerful beings that have ever existed.
In what way? Because I like this. Keep going. This is great.
Well, because we have the capacity to transmute material. We have the capacity to transport ourselves. We have the capacity to do whatever we choose. We have the capacity. We just haven't practiced it. I remember how to transmute and transport. I remember the process. And when I sit and try to do it, it's because I still have this human brain. I haven't let go of certain things. I can't quite do that. I can't transport myself across the galaxy, though I remember the process.
Okay, but isn't it, I mean, not to make things simple, but isn't it, if you were truly relaxed, remove your mind, your monkey mind, your whatever, and sat with love, knowing you're protected, you're cradled, you're loved eternally, then you just put your intention on, take me to my highest self, what I need to know now, and then wherever that is, and then you would just go to that planet. And
sure.
It's like,
I can do that on a soul spirit level.
Okay. But you're talking about bringing your body with you?
All of this.
Oh, you're talking about abortation. Well, you know what? That's the goal I have. It's also on my bucket list. I haven't done abortation yet. I can remote view and see what's in someone's house. I'm only do it. I wouldn't be creepy because, only if they ask me to, or,
Yeah. There's a protocol.
There's protocol. You don't do that. But yeah, abortation, the whole body, Jesus did it. He did it all the time.
Yeah.
That's what he did. That's what people say, did he die? I'm like, what's death? I mean, he could come back. He could tell me he wanted. He could like bring up a body, get rid of a body. He could. I mean, So I mean, like tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
So going back, where do you think we are as humanity? Because I want to close this off and talk about your Deems product that you have. Where do you think we are going as humanity? What is the message you want to tell people of encouragement? Where do you think we are with things and disclosure?
Well, I'm actually quite excited about the Earth. Now, is there going to be some, challenging things? Yes, absolutely. That's just because it's part of the process. And it's part of the process because humans don't allow it to be easy. We make it difficult. We deny, we forget, we believe, we have hatred toward one another, and these things are holding us back. And the more we hold ourselves back, the more the planet's going to go, I've got to either get rid of them all and start over, or do little things until they get it.
Okay, that's the part I don't want. I feel it, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure we get over the hump.
And it only takes 1% of the whole planet to have that attitude before things will change for the good. And and the thing is, too, right now, I want people to understand that the Earth is really going to be a beautiful, wonderful place. Well, then it's still going to be a natural planet. So you're going to have earthquakes. You're going to have floods. You're going to have those things because it's still a natural planet. But understand that the beings on it will be very different. It'll be you and me, but we'll still be very, very different on attitude and polarity. We'll all be positive at some point. It's going to take it'll take about 100 years, less than 100 years.
That's not bad.
No, not considering all the people.
I mean, not at all. I mean, but we're already starting to do it because what I'm doing, because it's an agreement, you got to have ethics. But if I tune into people, but not like what's going on, but more like, oh, what's their frequency? I go, oh, what a beautiful soul. You know what I mean? And so people are already starting to telepathically connect to people and go, oh, well, I feel your presence. I feel your essence. I feel your intent. And it's a lot less work. It's like you can sit with the presence of a person without, I don't know, going into a lot. I feel that's happening energetically really quick these days.
Yes.
And I'm really proud of people because they're trusting that. I'm like so proud. I tell people to do that, trust yourself, but they're doing that. And they're because we really are family.
We are. And that's the thing we need to understand. Doesn't matter what color we are, what language we speak. We are the same. And we're all part of the same source. We're all here. We all chose to be here, and we're all working together, and Earth will be a beautiful, positive place. And just know that is our future. And
I love that.
The population will be less because the planet, not the planet itself. I mean, the planet, it'd be better for fewer people. I'm not a Rosicrucian by any means. But so I don't really believe in that. But I do believe the planet needs to have fewer people than what we have because we have too much of an influence on it energetically. But it's part of the process on every planet because
I've been told that
most of the people aren't from here anyway. So when they die, they're going to go somewhere else.
No, that's a good point, and they agreed to be here. What I've been told, what Jesus, he tells me all sorts of star stuff and everything. He told me, he said that certain people, he said right around, before that thing happened to everybody 4 years ago, he said there's going to be people that are leaving. It's an agreement. No, they're okay. And he also said there's another wave about to happen. Not saying that something's going to happen. I'm just saying there was an agreement on a soul level. I'm not saying something's making it. But there's that they're here for a certain period, and they've decided to not be here for this next process. And they've agreed to that. And I'm starting to see it because it will upset you because you'll love people and you'll know some of them, but it's their soul agreement. And so that they not every, they agree to a certain, I guess, service to us, to be of service to a certain point. And so, and the others are deciding, okay, we'll be here and show how to set things up. And then we're going to come, some people, like you said, are going to leave and go to the planet. So, no, I'll come back and help show people how to set this new civilization up. So that's what he said. He said it's just a natural order of what's been agreed upon.
Well, see, and the interesting thing is the reason there are so many people on Earth is because to interact with humanity, if you're a benevolent, positive, beautiful soul, in order to interact with humanity, you have to incarnate through them. Otherwise, you're going against the rules by contacting them. So that's the only way for benevolence to do that. Negativity, they can kind of come and they can contact you because, you know, they're not going by the same rules.
No, they're trying to hijack and cheat and everything else.
All that stuff. But what will happen soon is when enough of those, you know, unfortunately, as people die off, fewer people are being born on Earth. That's just going to continue. But it's not a bad thing. It's these other races are leaving the planet.
Because they feel it's okay. We're getting it. We've done our part. It's okay.
It's
We've helped. And people are feeling it. They're like, oh, my karma. I've been here a long time. I get to go home. People will say that. You know, and I'm thinking, no, I think they still may need me. You know, that's what I'm getting. Other people, it's like, no, I know this time I'm gone. And I'm like, no, I don't know. It's not so bad, really. I think they need me for the next phase. I don't think I'll look like this, but, you know, whatever it is, the incarnation. So tell everybody about your DEEMS product and how you, speaking and channeling, you must have received this information going, hey, this could help people.
When I was working with on the Secret Space program, one of my jobs was to erase memory or take memory out. I mean, I didn't enjoy doing it, although sometimes I felt I was doing service to somebody that was traumatized. You know,
yes, absolutely.
Some of these soldiers come back horrified and saw terrible things, and I'm like, oh, let me help you. We'll take it out. Of course, I only did what I was told to do, but the fact is I did feel like I was doing service at times. Sometimes they were begging me not to, and I didn't have a choice. I had to take them anyway. So that's where I was introduced to the DEEMS device, and this is a DEEMS device.
Oh my God! Okay, now tell us all about it. And is that similar to what you used?
What they used it for was the whole memory transfer and soul transfer in the service. But the one I built, this is what I wrote a contract with the government when I left, and said I'm going to release this to humanity, and they're like, that's fine. They signed the contract. They said, you're not going to remember it anyway. I'm like, yeah, I am.
You're like me. Yes, I am. Yeah, I am. It's funny when your soul goes, yes, I am, because that means you are.
Well, I'm pretty sure I got a double dose of memory erasal, but you know, because most of the stuff that they did, that's why I have a hard time remembering names, I think. But anyway, so
got it. Okay.
I made a contract with them to release this, and what this is, it's technology given by other races. It's basically similar to the Ankh from Egypt. It does some of the same things. It's magnetic. You know, 13 magnets running in series here, creating a loop of energy, very, 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 very strong magnetic energy. And then this is also a magnet, and this magnet is polarized this way. So as the energy comes up and around, this one's pushing it that way, right? So it creates a vortex of energy. And that vortex comes out about that far. It's like a little, you know, like a tornado,
Okay, right. That's how I was visualizing it, right? Like a,
and then at the tip of that tornado is
like a funnel.
Exactly.
Okay.
Energy. So it's sucking in energy from this side, right? So this actually can penetrate the skin. You know, it can, you know, whatever, you know, you can penetrate it. And what it does is the northern pole of the magnet, where it comes out and the vortex is coming out, we would use that for pain relief, and it really does work. You know, it relieves pain, but and the other side regenerates tissue. So you know, because it's pulling energy out, right? So this is pushing energy in, because you can see the silver. This side,
the silver is what side does that do?
This side, it's like a vacuum sucking in energy.
Okay. And
so when you put it against your skin, it pulls energy out like a vacuum.
And what does that do when it does that?
It regenerates tissue, helps to regenerate tissue.
That is cool. Okay, what about inflammation? Everybody's got inflammation on planet Earth. Yeah. I really want mine gone.
Yeah.
Does that do that?
It does assist in, because what it does is it moves, and you can find this on the National Institute of Health, the National Library of Health, you know, the neodymium magnets, which these are, helps to motivate and move away pain factors, inflammation, and moves it along. So it gets pooled and stuck. That's why we have pain, and then once stuff is stuck in here, it swells. When it swells, we get pain because it's pushing against the nerve.
I got it. It's like meridian points. It's stuck there.
It's exactly right.
It's like, oh, go to here, attention, and so it doesn't know to move. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So I just made an agreement that because this also works with the chakras.
Okay.
To this piezoelectric energy, which is what our brain creates. Piezoelectric energy, and created in our pineal gland because we have calcite crystals in there. And when you put under hydraulic pressure, it's like a quartz. If you hit a quartz with a stone, you'll see a spark.
Yes.
Because it creates energy. Well, it does the same thing in your brain. And this creates the same energy because there's piezoelectric energy, and that's what's in our nervous system. It's created in our brain. So I'll tell you how to create piezoelectric energy. It's either hit a quartz crystal with the stone, which we can't do, right, to heal ourselves. Or you take a magnet and force it to go against its polarity. So this is how the magnet wants to rest, okay? Yeah. So I take it and I turn it and I make it go this direction against its polarity. So it fights a little bit to go there.
It does.
And then when you do that, you're creating piezoelectric energy, which is the most natural energy in your body that you could possibly have.
So would it open your pineal gland or where it's calcified? Because we're constantly being like I stopped using aluminum, back in the day, my mom used it, Reynolds wrap. I'm like, no. But all these things that calcify, would it put up there and it would just spark it open?
It does help. I will say that with me, I haven't seen a difference because I was all this has been open for a long time.
You're kind of open. You're like, I can't even close. I can't even close it now.
I cannot.
I'm seeing cryptids in the backyard. I can't close it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was a little kid, even as a kid, my third eye would be spinning and vibrating like a bee was there. And I would have to cover it just to go to sleep. I'd have to cover it up with my hands.
Interesting.
So it's been open forever.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Mine too. Yeah. I just didn't want people to know stuff and things. But that is amazing. So people can buy that directly from you at the Deems company.
Yeah, deemscompany.com. I make every single one myself by hand.
Wow.
And they're not all gold. This one is gold plated. It's an option.
Okay.
They're a little bit expensive, but they're expensive to make because they have 8 carats of diamonds in each and every one. Even the ones that are silver.
You're kidding. What does the diamonds do?
They focus in the magnetic and piezoelectric energy.
Really? Yeah. I just would have never thought diamond versus crystal. Diamond was
really the best crystal you can use for focusing of energy.
So let me ask you this. This is where we're going here. I remember doing first of all, I remember doing this medium demonstration, and I was wearing these. It's in the southern area, so I was wearing these big crosses, and then I had, should I wear like my sterling or should I wear my gold? So my guides one day started talking to me, and they said, "Well, we appreciate it. That's very nice. You wear your costume jewelry. Silver is neutral, but if you want to enhance your ability, wear your gold."
Yes.
And so that's why that's gold, because he said it will really amp it up. And also, I take Ormus gold. I take it, to open my pineal gland because you can drink gold. Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think you can take too much, so be careful. But I think it's a good idea. The thing, we've always heard. How long have we heard? Women live longer than men because they don't work as hard, which is utter BS.
Right. Yeah. Not really. Yeah. I don't. So what's the deal? Why?
Women wear more gold and diamonds.
So
I fully support you buying gold and diamonds. It is absolutely the best thing you can do on a passive way to extend your life.
Oh my God, that's what they told me, and they said no. They said it, and they said that it goes back to Egypt, and before that Atlantis. But they said that's why you need to do it. So you know what you need to do? You need to look like, with the gold chains, like a rapper. That's what you need. You need to load it up, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that'll really amp it
Walk
up.
around with huge change.
Yeah, exactly. And then people are like, you're setting a new trend. You're like, no, I'm trying to vibrate at a higher rate. So
But
this is
mostly it's because the reason we have our wedding bands on our left hand is
yes.
because that's where one of the places energy comes into the body, through the hand and through the shoulder.
Oh my
So you're
God.
pulling in the energy from diamonds and gold if you're wearing it on your left hand.
On the left, and then healing usually comes out from the
And
right.
it
Not
comes out
right
through the heart, comes out the other hand.
heart, and
As
goes
a
out
beam.
here.
You can do this beam of energy. That's what I do when
Yeah.
I do balancing and healing work with people.
Really? Okay, so tell everybody about your healing work, and then they'll want end off so you can go on your day. But yeah, I always love these images. I have these images like superheroes, like stuff coming out of my hands. I just love it. It's just cool. But why can't we help heal each other and heal ourselves?
Well, we can.
Yeah.
You just have to believe it's true.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why you're here. So tell everybody about your services. I know you're so busy. I'm surprised you still do services because you do these talks all over the
Yeah.
place. So what kind of healing services do you offer?
Well, I just finished what I guess I don't like the term med bed, but it's a bed that you lay on, and there's several types of energy that you're encased in a bubble of energy. It's open. It's not like you're in a tube. I can't.
Right. Yeah, no tubes.
You have magnetic energy, piezoelectric energy. You have scalar and Rife energy, sonic energy, photonic energy, and that's about it. That's enough, right?
No, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So you were channeled that too. So I had Tesla come to me a few times. I'm like, and I felt I didn't want to be rude, but I was like, because first of all, I like Tesla, and I'm going, that's really nice you're telling me, but why are you telling me? Because I don't know anyone to produce this. So I do know a couple scientists, but they're not really interested. So you were told to do this. Are you going to manufacture it all over the place so we can all get a part of that and purchase that, or services, or be able to? Do you know what I mean? Buy time to go into these things.
Well, it does, and I've been supporting everything. That's where any Dames that sold goes toward developing the bed. And
okay, good. That is great. That is good. You need to really make that big, because I was in marketing, really big on your site, because that's a really important thing for humanity.
Yeah, and so that's. I mean, this is personal, but I literally for 4 years haven't taken a salary. Because every single penny goes in toward developing this.
I'm not surprised. You're that quality person. I get it. And guess what? We're looking at the timeline. I mean, right? We need to make sacrifices to make it go well, right?
And absolutely, yeah. Because it's like I like nice things. There's no doubt. I have nice things.
Sure.
But they don't mean anything.
Well, we're not taking that, but we take our spiritual knowledge, right, and our accomplishments and our spiritual decisions, which is really strange to think about it. They're being archived, everything we say and do, and I'm like, gosh, I got to hear that back. I'm like, say a bunch of dumb stuff, but I'm like, oh, great, my life review. It's going to be like hee haw. Anyway, oh my gosh. So, but this is helping people, and you're helping people. Do you have any projects that you want to tell people, or anything you're involved for them to participate in?
Well, right now I'm still doing trials on the bed. It's fully operational. I work with my engineer and my friend, and his name's Lawrence Bayshore, and he has the photonic part of the bed. That was his invention, and I had the other stuff. And then we met one another, and we're like, wait, you have half of it, I have the other half of it. So let's get together.
That is beautiful synchronicity. What a beautiful partnership.
Yeah, and he's the same way. He doesn't take any kind of salary whatsoever, and because we're really just trying to make this stuff available. Having said that, what my plan and hope and goal is to continue to develop it and create healing centers that actually work with trauma, work with old past life stuff, so that you can begin to let it go now, so your body can begin to heal.
Oh, I just wow, I just feel that really in my heart. That feels so
Yeah.
powerful. And you really need it everywhere because I know a lot of people on the West Coast. I know you're in Hawaii, but there's people on the East Coast here too. We need that as well,
Yeah.
and we need it really in key, just like we need to be in key points and
Yeah.
in different areas. Well, I'll support you when you. I can put that. I can list it on my Seeking Heaven channel. I'll be happy to help promote it. I mean, it's a thing that's going to help humanity, and I commend you. And at some point,
Yeah.
it will. You're not doing it for a profit, but at some point, with time, maybe so everything will work out. But for right now, you're just trying to get it up and going.
Just trying to get it there. Yeah. So, it grows as it grows, and the progress is what it is. And
It's your baby.
yeah.
It's your baby it's your child for humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's really why I'm here, and all of the experiences I've had, the reason I've decided to share them is because I would like people to learn what I learned without having to go through the experience.
You know what?
That's possible.
You can. And the other thing that I've noticed recently, especially if someone has trauma, you can experience it from that little child perspective or a third person perspective. You can switch it, and you don't have to experience the full pain. You can say, okay, I acknowledge the pain. There it is. It was kind of awful. Okay, I'm going to pull back some of that emotion so I don't have to feel it all. And I think people don't really realize that. And you can also learn from someone else and avoid the whole thing. So I think the whole point is the pain and suffering aspect. We need to change the dynamics of that.
I mean, it isn't necessary. We make it necessary.
Yeah. I mean, it's because I guess we're thick-headed. We say, oh, we're going to really make an example. So I think that you are phenomenal, what you're doing, who you are, how you're speaking your story, which is still evolving. You're still evolving.
Yeah.
And I just thank you for your time and who you are.
Oh, it's been absolute pleasure. I got kind of excited a few times, and I like that.
Oh, that's good. Because I really wanted to have this conversation. I wanted people to see you and to hear us talking and just, being in the moment. And people are asking these questions already. They really are. They're very alert at what's going on. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be really turned on to your product because it's going to help. So thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime. If you have a topic, you want to promote something, you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Please subscribe, like, and make comments, and support this channel by becoming a member. Thank you for your continued support.